Welcome to this press conference here at Eurojust. Today, Eurojust has concluded a successful action day following the 100th coordination center we've had since 2011. And it has led to the unraveling of a massive fraud with pay television. And the following speakers will give you more details. I can just add now that it's an operation which expands beyond Europe, because with the help of the Polizia di Stato, even signals, have been taken down in Latin America. We have the following speakers for you. Mr. Filippo Spiezia, National Member for Italy and Vice President of Eurojust. Dr. Vincenzo Piscitelli, the Deputy Chief Prosecutor of the Public Prosecutor's Office in Naples. Dr. Valeria Sico, welcome, Deputy Prosecutor of the PPO in Naples. We have Mr. Lodewijk van Zwieten of the Dutch Cybercrime Unit, a prosecutor here in The Hague. We welcome Dr. Riccardo Croce, Capo Commissioner of the Polizia di Stato. And we have from the Guardia di Finanza, Capitano Fabrizio Guardin, and Mr. Ruud Willemstein of the Dutch Police, team leader here in The Hague. And we welcome as well Mr. Mark Mulready of the Audiovisual Anti-Piracy Alliance, who will all give you explanation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Eurojust. Ladies and gentlemen, dear journalists, it's my pleasure to inform you that today, thanks to the action of hundreds of policemen, law enforcement authorities coordinated by respective judicial authorities in Italy, Bulgaria, Greece, the Netherlands and Germany, have managed to unravel a major international criminal network involved in this massive video piracy fraud in connection to the pay TV television. This case is really a unique case in my memory because thanks to the actions and investigation conducted worldwide, we have been able to dismantle this criminal international network and to disarticulate the infrastructure, the technological infrastructure used by the members of this criminal group. Indeed, a total of 181 servers have been taken down. As a result of this action, more than 800,000 of users have been obscured and disconnected, and they will not be able to receive illegally the signal. The action is the result of a coordinated effort supported from the beginning by Eurojust. I received information by my colleague on my left side when they asked the support of Eurojust in order to facilitate the process, the cooperation and the coordination of this investigation. The damage produced so far to the broadcast companies, to the private sector and also to the public institutions is immense. According to the last estimation in Italy, such loss has been quantified in 600 million euros for the industrial sector, which is responsible for this specific area of the market. You know all the effects created by this illegal activity, unfair competition, financial loss. Some companies have already been put out of the market as a consequence of this illegal activity, and thousands of jobs in danger. The international dimension of this major operation has been confirmed also this day, because through the coordinated action that has been carried out, we also have been able to disconnect some servers operating in South America. One of them was connected to the server that was taken down in France. So the, I would say, relevance of this operation is really unique so far in my memory and in my knowledge. From Eurojust perspective, we are very happy and satisfied of the support that we have been able to provide to our national authorities for two main reasons. First of all, for the takedown effect. takedown effect is the consequence of the implementation of specific measures, European investigation orders, but we, during these months of work at Eurojust, we have adapted the judicial needs of the Italian judicial authorities, the prosecutor office of Rome and Milan, to the specific legal requirements of our EU partners, because so far we don't have a common EU legal framework to operate such effect. And this is the first, I would say, example of an action conducted in with these modalities. The second, concerning the specific area of the digital evidence. Digital evidence is a very peculiar area. I have on my right one of the most relevant experts in this sector, and he better than me can explain to you how difficult it is to gather digital evidence, especially when we operated with these transborder modalities. And again, thanks to the role of Eurojust, thanks to complex coordinating meetings and exchange of information, we have put in place the appropriate measures to gather this evidence. Of course, the operations are ongoing. A lot of developments have been announced, even in relation to the possibility to get not only the confirmation of the investigative hypothesis, but also to go further, to develop this case. I would like to conclude my short intervention expressing our gratitude on behalf of the national authorities and on behalf of Eurojust as a whole to all EU partners who have assisted us in these very delicate and complex operations. I think that thanks to this action, we have sent out a very clear signal to criminals that even in this specific domain, even in this specific area which represents the most advanced form of the modern criminality, operating all together, join efforts, join our energies, we are able to tackle and to give an answer to them.
Dottore Piscitelli, if I may ask you to take the floor, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Public Prosecutor of Naples, I'm with my colleague Valeria Siga, who also led the investigation. I would also like to thank Eurojust and the Italian desk, who has supported us during this operation, and the various police authorities in the EU who have helped us in this information. This is very important for us because it really shows something that's quite important. Behind small illegalities and between using illicit signals which arrive on the Italian territory, it's a small illegality for users, but behind that there's also huge illegal activities. So this is why we tried to really hit the structures, the organizational structures at the heart, and that was done through the investigation that was carried out by the Public Prosecutor's Office of Naples, and that was carried out and articulated in parallel with the PPO of Rome. So this is very important because we saw that this is very complex. It's a complex operation, and we saw that working in silos, it was quite difficult, and that's why working in cooperation was really good, because it enabled us to reconstruct a group, an organized group, which was much more aggressive, much broader than we thought. Now, working with the Guardia di Finanza, in collaboration with them and their investigative mechanism, we were able to obtain this result, with which we are very happy and thankful. And I will give the floor to my colleague who carried out this information from 2017 till today. Mrs. Secco, you have the floor.
And thank you very much to be here now. I'm very pleased and grateful to Eurojust for my presence here now during the hard work that Eurojust and the other authority, policy and jurisdictional authority made during this month.
My investigation started, as Mr. Piscitelli was mentioning, in 2017. So at the very beginning of the investigation, it resembled other investigations that we find on the desks of a lot of prosecutors' offices in Italy, because following a search which was ordered by another prosecutor's office, the prosecutor's office of Rome, we carried out a search in a home of a person which was identified as being the chief, the head, and the promoter of our organization, which we call the Boesse team. Following this search, the material was transferred to the Public Prosecutor's Office of Naples, and through the forensic analysis that were carried out by a special center which takes care of the technological aspects of the Guardia di Finanza. So it's a center of technological fraud, or a fight against technological fraud. We were able to analyze all the digital material which was found in possession of an Italian citizen who was residing in Naples. Through the analysis of this material, we were able to see that there's a new system that was created, a new system of disclosing signals and channels of IPTV, which was much more evolved with respect to the previous signal divulgation, because in the past we had systems which would modify decoders and systems that would modify cards. This is when you were able to do pay TV or TV on demand when it was based on SIM card. So we have a system of modification of these, so they were cracked. So the SIM cards were actually cracked, and the signal through which it was read through the decoder which some clients had. So when this system was discovered through the judicial authorities, the piracy, computer piracy, people who are leading or carrying out this type of crime, piracy, were involved. And what we were able to find through our work is that there's a simple organization. In reality, this is what happens. People would buy a subscription legally, so with IPTV, so TV on demand, at least in Italy. We have Sky Italy, we have Mediaset Premium, we have Days On and Netflix, or we also have Infinity. And so people would buy contracts, and once the signal arrives at the user's house through the digital signal, so they were able to obtain a digital signal through the purchase of a subscription. And then there was a software which was created by two citizens who are of Greek nationality. So they have a company which had a legal seat in Bulgaria. So this software enables the disclosure and the transmission of this TV signal through digital ways to different servers, which were constructed by the organization through the providers, the host providers, and they were situated, these hosts, in Holland and in the Netherlands and in France. And through these servers, the digital signal was therefore sent to different IP addresses of final users, and these people would then receive the television signal in their homes. In the contract, which is illegally purchased by the users, by clients, the contract goes between 10 to 20 euros a month, whereas actually the real price was about 49 euros a month if you want to have a legal contract with Sky. So this once again shows you that, economically speaking, for the final customer, this was a saving. They were saving money. But it is a very important economic damage for the companies which are offering IPTV services. But once again, we didn't even know how much the organization was profiting from it at that point, because in order to carry out all of this, the promoter of the organization created a real structure, a structure like a network, which saw that various residents who lived in different Italian regions, for instance, in Lombardia, we followed this morning some searches in Milan, in Vicenza, in Campania, in Avellino, in Napoli, in Naples, in Caserta as well, in Calabria, in Cosenza, and we also executed searches in Sicily, Messina, Palermo, and Syracuse, and also in Puglia. Puglia, in Bari, Taranto, and Lecce. And so we were able to identify 22 subjects who were members of this association, and other 3 subjects which are still being identified, because at the moment of the execution of the searches, we needed more indication to extend it to other Italian subjects. But the real novelty of this organization is that they involved as well foreign nationals, and they were able also to take advantage of organizations and structures which were also situated outside of Italy. And in fact, through the analysis that we carried out, we were able to see that this subscription was publicized basically through a Facebook page. And on that Facebook page, they were told that people were told that they can purchase a subscription of all companies of IPTV at a very small price, and to obtain access to watch all TV on demand, so all channels that are available for TV on demand. And this was also publicized through Sky Chat. So Sky, for their social network, for Facebook, Sky was enabling people to have a direct contact with the final user. So once the subscription was purchased, if on the day when there was a football match that was particularly interesting for the user, the signal would be blocked, or the signal was showing transmission signals, broadcasting signals. So through this chat from Sky, users were asking the association to remove the obstacle. And so they also went beyond, other than the possibility of intervening in order to resolve the problems of broadcasting. They also created a system to avoid hacker attacks from other people who were interested in the disclosure of this, or in broadcasting of this message. It was almost a dark web form, and this was made in order to make sure that the signal is not stolen by other people who are not members of this organization. So, of course, this type of activity showed a problem, because when the association was uncovered, various people who were Italian nationals, or who were residing in Italy, they wondered what can they do, because they saw some problems. So they thought, okay, so we're not going to leave this activity at a national level, but they were trying to get to the basis of the broadcast, so to go above and beyond our national organization in order to avoid the broadcasting of the signal. So in the past months, we have information from different sites which were blocked, and various servers that were seized. But for the first time, having identified the company that was producing the server, or the software, I'm sorry, says the speaker, we went directly to the company that was producing software. And so they were enable people to decrypt the signal, uncrypt the signal. And so this is why we also went right to the physical place where the disclosure of the signal would take place, and this was within these hosting provider companies in Holland and in France. And so physically they would loan these servers, and then the signal was broadcast to the company that had created the illegal signal, so the software company, and then that was sent to the end users. And so for the first time, this enabled us to carry out activity which was an international activity. It had international character, transporter character, and this also we also had to deal with foreign subjects. But it really enabled us to stop the phenomenon at the very beginning. And this was really possible through and thanks to Eurojust, because without the help and the coordination of Eurojust was always available and helpful. From the first unofficial meeting, they were ready to help, and we understood that without the cooperation of Eurojust, this would not have been possible. And I say it because in Italy, at the PPO of Naples, I am in charge of all the requests of when it comes to the European investigation orders that arrive in Italy from other member states. So I take care of that department, and I have to tell you very honestly that when the request arrives from a European state, European country or member state, the speed to execute the request, the intensity with which the activity is carried out, and the exchange of information with the colleague who is requesting information, everything is limited in a way. However, the coordination meetings that we've had here at Eurojust, and I'm referring to the meeting in July, but also today, and of course we had many other executive and operational problems which we were able to deal with. It was all thanks to Eurojust. They enabled us to solve technical problems, and they helped us in being able to gather all the evidence that were gathered during this investigation.
Mr. Van Zwieten, the Dutch prosecutor side, please.
Dank u wel. Goedemiddag. Vanochtend hebben de...
Good afternoon. This morning, together with the public prosecution, we took down 93 computers at one location, servers that were used by a criminal group operating from Italy. They focused on the Italian market. This group was committing fraud with subscriptions for pay TV. The information on these servers has been secured. A number of them have been seized, and this will be transferred to the Italian police for further investigation. This concerns criminal offences that have not been committed by Dutch criminals. At least we are not assuming such at present. There is no mention, as it looks now, of any Dutch companies that have become victims of this, but the Dutch infrastructure has been abused for these criminal activities, where the criminal group made lots of victims and obtained massive profits. In the Netherlands, we are proud of the fact that we have a big, affordable hosting industry, which is very important for our economy, but we don't want this industry to these services to be used on a large scale for criminal activities. That is why we find it so important, together with the Dutch hosting industry, to act very diligently against abuse. So it was our pleasure to comply with the request from our Italian colleagues, and if there should be any follow-up requests, we are fully prepared to give our further cooperation. As my Italian colleague told you before, this was a criminal group that used set up a sophisticated technical network that was really intended to resist actions by authorities, but that we nevertheless still managed, inter alia, by actions in the Netherlands, to deal such a severe blow to the criminal network can be called a great success. A success that would not have been possible without close and very accurate coordination, which was facilitated by Eurojust in The Hague. That this coordination has resulted in such a great success simply indicates how complex international crime has become. There are very few situations indeed in which criminals who use large-scale criminal activities, it is rarely so that one country can give them the final blow, so that makes it very important to work together. As I stated before, we have no indication that Dutch suspects or victims are involved, but now and in the future we shall continue to act very promptly against any abuse of Dutch infrastructures. It's a problem that features in the Netherlands as well, this form of crime. We are fully aware of that, and wherever possible we act against it. But today we are quite pleased in particular that we've been able to make such a contribution to the investigations of our Italian colleagues, and we look forward to fruitful cooperation in the future.
The representative of the Polizia di Stato, Commissario Capo, Docce, please.
Thank Eurojust. I would also like to thank the Public Prosecutor's Office of Roma, and I am representing them today. I have the honor of representing them today. I would like to also thank the PPO of Naples, and I'm also very proud to be able to represent the financial cyber crime of the Polizia di Stato for an operation that I have the honor to present today. It's the Operation Glessi, which really shows a turn point when it comes to the fight against illegal IPTV. For the first time in the history of investigation in this type of sector, the police and Eurojust was able to get to the heart of what is a problem, and we don't hear that much about it, but it is a problem which really hits a lot of productive sectors, meaning that the organized crime groups obtain millions of euros a year through this activity. The activity was carried out through a very complex technological investigation, and it was carried out in through a period of a few months through the PPO of Roma, and I was really happy to see that the technological infrastructure that was responsible for the rebroadcasting of the IPTV, illegal IPTV signal. The number of the operations are incredible. It's 30 servers, 30 main servers through which the technological infrastructure was rendered capable, and other servers to rebroadcast signals. So 181 servers were involved in this operation. The criminal group was able to have 5 million users only on the Italian territory in Italy, and the criminal activity was putting in the coffers of the organization more than 2,180,000 euros every month as illicit funds. So this activity, as I said, had a particular technological value. So it was not only to go and get the lowest levels of signal rebroadcasting, but the idea was to get to a very complex mapping of international technological infrastructure and to really hit them at the heart, hit them at the heart of the infrastructure, as Ms. Sika was mentioning so well. So people who thought that they were purchasing signals illegally, and then from then we went through a very complex technological network, and we saw that they were transferring that into data signals, but they were also capable, through the use of a service, they were able to organize a structure to sell the product, which was legally acquired, and to sell it. And this would basically, with more than 1 million end users. So our investigation was based on this. So to go to the source level of this illegal signal, to disarticulate completely all servers in various European countries on which the infrastructure existed, to replicate these signals, and to hit for the first time the company that was offering this very interesting support of the criminal infrastructure, and to put at the disposal a service of panels. So these were network panels. So that is the computer system through which the multitude of paying channels were able to be sold and resold depending or through a chain of people who were selling it throughout Europe, and then it would end up to the end user. So this investigation showed something very important. This investigation showed how important it is to cooperate at an international level. And I would also like, on my behalf, to thank Eurojust for the excellent coordination, and especially the Italian desk at Eurojust for this excellent cooperation. And we were able to show that the international dimension of crime does not stop us. We went beyond difficulties which are linked to the transborder character. And through the Ecclesia operation of the Polizia di Stato, we were able to go to 4 different countries and to put an end to signals which were sent to various countries in the world. But this was carried out only through a very precious collaboration which was put in place by Eurojust and through the authorities, the PPO of Rome, PPO of Naples, and also and especially thanks to the colleagues in various countries. So thank you once again. We are very happy to be able to present this operation today because our duty to serve and protect citizens is enriched. With this operation, we can carry out prevention, which is really important, to shed light on a scenario of illegal IPTV, which is undervalued. Very often we do not really realize very much what it is. We think that we are acquiring a product which is cheap, whereas the legal purchase would products that cost more legally, and in the end what we are paying for ends up to be in the pockets of international organized crime groups, and these crime groups are very dangerous. An entire productive system is hit in that way. We think that it's approximately 800 million euros that are in damages, and most and foremost through the new networks which will be able to link us ever faster. It enables to install in our houses a device. We don't know anything about the device. We don't know anything about the origins of this device, and we just give access to that device, all the information of our home network and all the other networks. So we favor in that way that these criminal organizations have access to our homes. They operate through the theft of identity and through the illegal appropriation of our data. So once again, thank you very much. This operation was really enable us to carry out prevention other than carrying out a fight against this international organized group, which has a transborder dimension. I would also like to thank Eurojust for this excellent and effective coordination and help, and I would also like to thank all the colleagues which helped us in various other countries in a brilliant way, supporting us in a fantastic way. So thank you very much to all of you.
I would like to point out that this action day has taken place, of course, with the active support of our French, German, Bulgarian and Greek desks. So it's a truly pan-European operation when it comes to that. But I would like now to give the floor to Mr. Ruud Willemsen, Team Leader, International Cooperation of the Hague Police. I do apologize, Mr. Willemsen.
Ja, dank u wel.
Yeah, thank you. As a police, we were asked 2 months ago to cooperate in the interventions that took place today. We prepared for this and we were very grateful for the coordination with Eurojust and the cooperation with the Italian authorities. This morning we've been able to assist in the seizure of the servers and securing the administration. We think in this way that we have made a fine contribution which satisfies the objectives quoted by the previous speakers. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mark Mulready, who's Vice President of the Audiovisual Anti-Piracy Alliance.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and many thanks to Eurojust for hosting this press conference and also for coordinating the activities today. I'm a VP of the Audiovisual Anti-Piracy Alliance, or the AAPA as it's better known, and AAPA is comprised of 28 members who are committed to fighting audiovisual piracy. Our members come from predominantly Europe and the Middle East, and many of them are global businesses. They include rights owners, the major European football leagues, broadcasters, platform operators, telcos, and companies providing content protection technology and services. In terms of piracy, its impact cannot be understated for both consumers and for our industry. From a consumer's point of view, by watching illegal streams, they're potentially exposing themselves to theft of their personal information, inappropriate content, malware infection, as well as potential criminal liability. They may also be duped into buying a cheap pirated services, but those services can, and in fact as today proves, will be disrupted by these types of successful anti-piracy activities, resulting in a loss of the service. It has also, piracy has a significant detrimental effect on the entire value chain of our industry. It devalues content rights, it stifles creativity and results in loss of revenue and jobs. Additionally, governments lose tax revenues, whilst pirates profit substantially from piracy. The support of authorities is crucial in our anti-piracy efforts, and we are very grateful to all the law enforcement agencies that played a pivotal role in this operation. Many thanks to the Italian judicial authorities and law enforcement units for their sustained efforts to investigate a very complex, large, organised and international crime network. Thank you. And we'd also like to thank Eurojust, the prosecutors and all the European law enforcement agencies that were involved, including Bulgarian, French, German, Greek and the Dutch police for their great effort. Many months of hard work went into this operation to bring about this result, and on behalf of our industry we would like to thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Mulready. Thank you all speakers now.